The crystal glasses clinked as Mom passed around her famous Bordeaux at our monthly family dinner. The dining room of their Newport Beach mansion hadn't changed since my childhood. Same mahogany table, same ocean view, same undercurrent of disappointment in my career choices. "So how's your little app doing?" Diana asked, cutting into her filet mignon. My sister's startup portfolio was the family's pride, with 3 successful exits already. "It's not just an app," I corrected, trying to keep my voice even. "We're developing advanced AI processing algorithms for..." Yes, something about making phones think faster." Dad waved his hand dismissively. "But Diana's new health tech platform just raised $50 million. Now that's real business." I checked my phone discreetly. Our latest processing tests had exceeded every benchmark. The major tech companies' outdated AI chips wouldn't stand a chance. Speaking of real business, Mom chimed in. "Thomas's crypto exchange is expanding to Europe." My brother adjusted his Rolex. Series C funding closed last week. $200 million valuation. "Remember when you turned down the VP position at Thomas's company?" Dad asked, swirling his wine. "Could have been part of something big instead of playing with code in your garage." "My garage has 7 full-time engineers now," I said. "We're actually 7. Diana laughed. "My cleaning staff is bigger than your whole company." My phone buzzed. A calendar notification. Final testing phase complete. "How much runway do you have left?" Thomas asked with fake concern. "That seed funding must be running low. You know, I could always find you a position." Another buzz. "Our patent lawyers confirming the paperwork was ready." "She's too proud for that," Dad said. "Wants to do it all herself. Just like when she dropped out of Stanford's MBA program to code." My phone lit up again. This time everyone at the table saw the caller ID. "Incoming call, Apple C." Dad choked on his wine. "Speaker," I said calmly, answering the call. "Good evening, Tim. The board just finished reviewing the final tests." His voice filled the silent dining room. "Your AI processing technology. It's revolutionary. We're ready to proceed with the acquisition. $4.2 billion as discussed." Diana's fork clattered onto her plate. "The papers are ready?" I asked, watching my family's expressions shift from mockery to shock. "Our legal team can handle the transfer tonight. We want to announce at tomorrow's keynote. Your technology will be the core of every Apple device moving forward." "Perfect timing," I smiled. "I'm with my family right now. They're very interested in hearing about the deal." "Ah yes, your family," Tim chuckled. "The ones you mentioned who thought you were wasting your time? Well, I hope $4.2 billion changes their minds about garage startups. Shall I have our lawyers proceed with the transfer?" Tim's voice continued through the speaker, echoing in the now silent dining room. "Send it through," I replied, pulling up the documents on my tablet. "I'll sign right now." Thomas's face had gone pale, his crypto empire suddenly seeming small. "4 billion. .2, I corrected, digital pen moving swiftly across the screen. "Though that's just the initial payment. The royalty structure is particularly interesting." Diana's perfectly manicured hand trembled as she reached for her wine. "Royalties? Our AI processing technology will be in every iPhone, iPad, and Mac," I explained, continuing to sign. "We get a percentage of each device sold. Conservative estimates put that at another $3 billion annually." Dad's wine glass stopped halfway to his mouth. "Annually. All signed, Tim," I said, sending the completed documents. "Will you be announcing the neural processing upgrades at tomorrow's keynote as well?" "About that," Tim replied, excitement clear in his voice. "We'd like you to present it yourself. Show the world the future of AI processing. The team here is calling it the biggest leap since the first iPhone." Mom's pearls clinked against her glass as her hand went to her throat. "Present at Apple's keynote. I'll have my team send over the presentation details," I said, watching another notification pop up, this time from Google. "Though I should mention, Tim, you might want to expedite the press release. Looks like your competitors are figuring out what they missed." "Already done," he confirmed. "The announcement goes live in 3 minutes. Welcome to Apple officially. See you tomorrow in Cupertino." The call ended, and right on cue, everyone's phones started buzzing with the breaking news alerts. Apple acquires AI startup in historic $4.2 billion deal. Revolutionary AI processing technology to transform tech industry. Garage startup becomes Silicon Valley's newest unicorn. But your company was just 7 people, Diana stammered, staring at her phone's news feed. 7 of the best AI engineers in the world, I corrected. While you were building copycat apps, we were revolutionizing how computers think. Thomas frantically pulled up his trading app. Apple stock is soaring. The whole tech sector is responding. Amazing what can happen in a garage, isn't it? I said, standing up as my driver texted his arrival. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a keynote to prepare for. Mom, dinner was lovely as always. Wait, Dad called out as I reached for my coat. You can't just... this is... a paradigm shift in computing? I finished for him. The biggest tech acquisition of the year? Or just proof that your rebellious daughter actually knew what she was doing? My phone buzzed again, this time with a message from our lead engineer. Google offering $5 billion to counter Apple's deal. Should we tell them they're too late? I said, showing them the message, it's interesting how value works. Last month, Diana's $50 million raise was real business. Now Google's offering $5 billion just to match Apple, and they don't even know about the quantum processing breakthrough yet. Quantum processing? Thomas nearly dropped his phone. You mean there's more? There's always more, brother. That's what happens when you focus on innovation instead of following trends. I pulled up our company's private dashboard on my tablet. See these processing speeds? They're about to make every AI chip on the market obsolete. The news alerts kept coming, each one making my family flinch. Wall Street stunned by Apple's stealth AI acquisition. Tech giant betting billions on revolutionary processing technology. Startup founder becomes overnight billionaire. But you never said anything, Mom whispered. All those dinners, all our questions. Would you have listened? I asked quietly. When I tried to explain our quantum AI breakthroughs, Diana called it playing with code. When I showed Dad our initial test results, he said I should get a real job like Thomas. My watch buzzed, a reminder about the private jet waiting to take me to Cupertino. The funny thing about revolution, I continued, gathering my things, is that it's only obvious after it happens. While everyone was chasing crypto and app trends, we were in that garage rewriting the future of computing. Diana's phone rang, probably her investors wondering if she had any insight into the deal. She let it go to voicemail, still staring at me in shock. I should go, I said, heading for the door. The keynote prep team is waiting, and we need to coordinate with Apple's neural engineering division. When Dad? About that VP position you wanted me to take at Thomas's company. He couldn't meet my eyes. I think I'll stick with being CEO of my own revolution. 6 months later, I stood backstage at the World Developer Conference, watching the crowd of thousands settle into their seats. My name and face dominated the massive screen behind the stage. Keynote speaker, the future of quantum AI processing. 5 minutes, Ms. Chen, my assistant whispered, handing me the latest figures. Our technology was now powering over 100 million devices worldwide. Apple's stock had surged 40% since the acquisition. My phone buzzed with a text from Diana. Family dinner tonight? Please. Things had changed since that revelatory evening. Diana's health tech startup had pivoted to implementing our AI processing for medical diagnostics. Smart move, they'd tripled their valuation. Thomas's crypto exchange was struggling to remain relevant in a world transformed by quantum computing. 2 minutes, the stage manager called. I checked my presentation notes one last time, though I hardly needed them. The real show would be the live demonstration quantum AI processing that would make our previous breakthrough look primitive. My phone lit up again. Dad. Sweetheart, I know you're busy, but I've been thinking about what you said about revolution and vision. I was wrong. We all were. If you have a moment after your keynote. Another text arrived before I could respond, this one from our head of R&D. Quantum mesh network test successful. Should we include it in today's demo? I smiled, typing back, show them everything. It's time they understood what revolution really means. The crowd hushed as the introduction video began playing. 3 years of work in that little garage startup had transformed into something that was reshaping the technological landscape. Every major tech company was now scrambling to catch up, but we were already 2 generations ahead. 30 seconds, the stage manager whispered. I thought back to that family dinner, to the dismissive laughs and condescending suggestions. Now our quantum AI processing was powering everything from smartphones to space missions. The garage where I'd been playing with code had become a landmark in Silicon Valley history. 10 seconds. One final text arrived from Mom. We're all watching. Show them what our daughter can do. The lights dimmed. The announcer's voice boomed. Please welcome the pioneer of quantum AI processing. I stepped onto the stage into the future I'd built while they weren't watching. Good morning, I began, my voice carrying across the silent auditorium. Today we're not just updating technology. We're redefining what's possible. Behind me, the screen lit up with real-time processing speeds that made the audience gasp. What they didn't know was that the real breakthrough was still to come. This morning we successfully tested the first quantum mesh network, I announced. Imagine every device on Earth linked through quantum entanglement, processing at speeds that defy classical physics. In the VIP section I spotted my family. Dad clutching his tablet, Diana frantically taking notes, Thomas looking shell-shocked. They finally understood. This wasn't just another tech startup success. This was a fundamental reshaping of human technological capability. But perhaps it's easier to show you, I said, pulling out what looked like an ordinary smartphone. This device contains our new quantum core. Watch. The demonstration that followed left even the most jaded tech journalists speechless. Real-time language translation that captured cultural nuances. Medical diagnostics that predicted conditions before symptoms appeared. Environmental modeling that could forecast climate patterns decades in advance. What you're seeing, I continued, isn't just faster processing. It's a new way of computing that operates beyond the boundaries of traditional physics.